Hey there and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about new construction versus custom build home. I work with a lot of clients that are interested in building from the ground up or a new construction home, and sometimes there's a little bit of disappointment, but I think that comes from unrealistic or unknown expectations. So today I just want to talk about what are the differences between a new construction home and a custom built home. The thing with custom built home is a custom built home can be a new construction, but typically your new construction home cannot be a custom built home. Typical new construction homes are homes that are in a community that are waiting for buyers to buy them. Custom homes are a little bit different to where they are custom to the buyer. They're picking everything from the ground up, including the material, etc. They're very custom to your needs, your wants, your desires. When you're going into a community to pick out a new construction home, you have to remember that these are high production builders. They buy in bulk. So it's kind of like how you can get something cheaper when you're ordering anything. The more you buy, they lower the cost. That's what happens when you're dealing with a high production builder. So the cost is going to be one of the main differences in purchasing a new construction home versus a custom built home. Because you have your new construction home, everything is already basically done for you. They're just waiting for a buyer. So it's much more cost effective to move into a new construction community. There's a lot of things that you don't have to do or deal with as the buyer. So it's a lot more economical for most families to get to a new construction community. Everything is pretty much picked out for you, and all you're doing is at this point picking the floor plan and maybe a few options. When it comes to your custom build, you are responsible for doing everything from finding your land to getting an architect to designing the floor plan that you desire. Those things are not cheap to do, okay? Which is why it's much more costly to do the new construction home, because those things have already been predetermined and already laid out for you. So those things are done, which eliminates those costs. The financing is a lot easier and probably a lot more economical, because when you're going into a new construction community, you are still doing a basic purchase, which means you could still stick to your 3.5% down depending on the financing that best fits you. You don't have to use the new construction lender that they're giving you, but they want you to get approved with them just so that they can see that you really are qualified before they go into, this contract with you. And often that includes incentive. Sometimes they're paying closing costs, sometimes they're paying or allowing you to do a few $1,000s worth of upgrades for using their lender. If they're offering seller concessions, they've gone into a negotiation with that lender where they're often splitting the cost, so it's saving the builder money as well. When you're doing your custom build, you can choose whatever lender will give you the loan options that you need. With custom builds, oftentimes you have to, one, find your land, pay for your land, however you're doing that, and then you have your construction to permanent resident loan, which means you oftentimes will be coming out of pocket with more money, 25%, sometimes more. Some things have to be paid out of your pocket just in general. No concessions, you're paying everything. You're paying your closing costs, you're paying your building costs, you're paying the up cost, the down cost, that every single thing, and you incur the cost in a custom built home. There are some builders who are doing, they'll build on land of your choice, and they may have floor plans for you to already choose from. So that could be a way to cut costs if you're looking for a custom build. And now I will say this, if they already have the floor plans laid out, it may be a semi-custom build where you get to choose all the finishes, but not necessarily the floor plan. Now to the floor plan that you have, and you can do this with a regular new construction home, sometimes they'll let you make a few adjustments to the floor plan. And when I say few, I mean few. You have to remember that when they get these floor plans laid out, they're permitted already. Everything is already in place to make it like this. If they had to change anything, it would be costly, because now they have to go back to the county, re-permit, get the architectural designs changed. They're not willing to do that for a consumer when someone else will love the floor plan as is. So I don't want you to have the idea that when I go into this new construction community that I'm getting this house exactly how I want it. Everything is going to be exactly how I want it. There's already plans laid out for you. Sometimes there's communities with 2 different floor plans, all the way up to like 5, 6, 7. It just depends on how much they budgeted for in that area and what they're allowed, depending on the lot sizes. So every house can't go on every lot in a neighborhood. So sometimes if it's a larger home, you will see that they're saying only this house can go on these lots, and lots are just the piece of land that the house is gonna go onto and the part that becomes yours. Your new construction home comes with the land, while a custom built home, you are responsible for finding the land. When these communities are buying in bulk, they're buying tons of flooring, tons of tile, tons of laminate, the countertops. They're buying all of these things in bulk. Typically, they're not waiting for a buyer to come along and pick out granite or pick out floors. Now, sometimes they will give you options to choose from out of the bulk that they already have purchased. Sometimes builders will allow some changes and some alterations depending on what it is and what the builder will allow. The buyer can be disappointed when in their head they know what they want their house to look like, and when it's time to select options or make changes and they're told no, it's like, I can't do anything. But you have to remember that you're not getting a custom home. If you're building from the ground up a custom home, you get to pick out exactly what you want, how you want it, how you want your closets to be, where you want your kitchen island to go, where you want your hallways, where you want your bedrooms, the size and everything. These are things that you get to pick out when you are doing a custom home. If you are doing a new construction home, you get to choose from the plans that are available by that builder and the plans that are going to go in that neighborhood. From there, you may be able to make slight changes, meaning, for example, in my house, the very front room was before a formal living room. It was a formal living room. And when we were purchasing, I asked if we could just put a door there. And now it's kind of like our den where our TV is. So small changes like that, but like removing walls, removing fireplaces, adding, there's certain things that they're not going to do. Now you could take a loft and make it into a bedroom, things like that don't change the architectural design of the floor plans. I'm not a custom builder. I don't know all the terminology, but I do know what I know, and I just want you to know the part just so that you have expectations, understanding when you are out here in the new construction communities. Dealing with a new construction community, they're a mass builder. They have tons of workers, out there. So your timing will probably be more efficient because they are moving, right? They're moving, they're high production. They don't get paid until these houses are sold. So that's their goal, is to get it done and get families in there. When you're dealing with your custom build, it may take a little longer because things are being ordered as you're selecting them. Normally, when you're hiring a team, they're working on other projects as well, and they could be in totally different cities, different areas, and then you just don't want all different types of hands in your home, right? So sometimes it could be a little bit more timely, picking products out or things on back order, and that's happening right now a lot in new construction in general. Just with everything going on, being in a pandemic, you have delays. Some of my new construction homes, they're not going to be done for 6, 7 months. And you look at it and you're like, this house is 3,000 square feet. It's not all detailed, but that's not on the builder. The builder's desire is to get the home sold. It's important to understand the timing. Even with my new construction clients, you will not have an actual closing date. They'll give you a roundabout closing date, but at the end of the day, the weather can change things. Product availability can change things. So just have the expectations that when I'm getting ready to purchase in this new construction community, that my dates may shift, okay? And that's it's on nobody. It's nobody's fault. It's literally just however things flow. So be prepared for that. Remember that these builders are not just waiting for buyers to come and purchase the home before they're selecting things if they're buying them in bulk. So they often will have a designer that has already pre-designed a home, meaning they've selected the flooring, they selected the countertops, they selected the cabinet colors and things of that nature in advance. If you happen to come to a new construction site and pick a house like before they do that, before they get to that point of ordering all of the products to go into the home, then often you get to pick some. They'll have, you know, your level 1 products, which are the ones that are free and included in the price. Then they will go up a notch to level 2 and level 3, and some may only have 3 choices depending on how big the builder is and the price point of the home community. They'll offer some more options. Now, sometimes you'll go into a builder, you'll think, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and all this stuff, and it's not happening. Like literally, there'll be 3 choices of floor options. And you might say, well, I saw this in the model home. Well, you gotta remember the model home is gonna be laid out, right? You will have options to upgrade. Now, sometimes if you go beyond the level 1, the one that's included in the price, the standard options, and you go to level 2 options, those will come with a price, okay? When you're building your own home, you're selecting exactly what it is you want, right? Just the benefits. You upgrade over here at new construction, there's a price that you pay for the upgrades. With custom, of course, you're selecting everything that you want for your home anyway. So you don't really have to upgrade anything. Your decor selections, your paint colors, and all those things are yours and what you want. And no one can tell you anything different when you're doing a custom build. Now with their new construction, the mass production builders, they may have 2 paint color selections. They may have 3, okay? And some of them may just have 1. They come just like this. And most of them are doing builder flat paint, and that's like the worst paint. I don't understand why they choose that paint at all. Most of the time, I'm like, as soon as your kids touch that wall, it's like difficult to even deal with. But I have some clients who are like, well, will they upgrade the paint? Will they do this? Most of the time they will not. And you'll hear a lot of no's, and it can be discouraging to hear like the no's, but keep in mind that this is how they're keeping the cost down. Some new construction builders are super basic, and when I say super basic, I mean when you walk in, you feel like this is just a square. There's no character, there's no customization, there's nothing in here that would stand out. And I have there's some builders, they have different levels of building, like their level 1 communities, their level 2, their executive communities, and you will notice a big difference in price and product, even though it can be an identical floor plan. Depending on your budget, I'm like, girl, get this house right here or in your budget, and you can add some little wood to it later. Like when you go to Home Depot, you will really see like this wood is $3, you know? So there are things that you can do to your home after to customize. I always tell my clients with their homes, if it's not in their budget or they don't want to finance certain things in, because you got to think every upgrade that you're adding, you're financing that into your mortgage for 30 years. You can get floors done for a few $1,000s next year and not finance the upgraded $5,000 into your mortgage, depending on your budget. But keep an open mind that things can you can change whatever you want in the house after you close on it. You can make any changes, any adjustments. Well, not any changes and any adjustments, because it has to still, and I'm talking basic. I'm not talking about knocking down walls and all that stuff, because you don't know where the beams are. You don't know what's holding the upper level of your house up, you know? So things like that you really don't want to get into. But I'm a person that, if it's within the budget, okay, go ahead and do it. If it's realistic and I'm staying under, but I'm not going to go over just because I want these upgrades, when I can definitely add them as time progresses and as I save for those things. So I never suggest just maxing out. Whatever upgrades that you do add to the home, you're gonna be paying for those things up front, because if you change your mind on this property and you walk away, now they've added upgrades, you won't be getting that money back. It won't take away things because that's deletion of a product. And if you change your mind in the process or something happens with your financing and you don't have that house, will the next buyer want that? So they create everything pretty standard. I love new construction homes. I love that they're new and you don't have to come in and clean up behind people or be overly concerned about things that could be hidden in the home. While I'm not saying that new construction homes or custom built homes are perfect by any means, because you have imperfect people putting together a product based upon natural resources, okay? You gotta remember, this came from a tree, you know? So keep those things in mind. While new construction homes are great, they are not custom homes. So when you go into a new construction contract, I want you to have realistic expectations of everything that you'll be able to do. And every builder is different. So you can't compare like, well, this builder lets me do this, or when I bought a house last time, this builder let me do this. Every builder has their own set of rules and regulations and their allowances. I hope that you find this video a little helpful. If you have not done already, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.